Now, I was 6 years old, and I wasn't always the best child, so I had a babysitter. Let's call him Gabe. So, Gabriel came over to my house Tuesdays, Thursdays, and occasionally Saturdays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and he watched me. Now, he wasn't very nice all the time, and I didn't really like him. So, now I know he likes to snack on some of our snacks at the house, and we had that one night Jello. He likes Jello, and I know that. So, let's just say I acted a little bit immature. Now, I get a syringe, and I inject my saliva, my spit, my man juice. Pause. My saliva into the Jello. It's a little hole, a little prick that I know he wouldn't notice. And I just waited. I watched that fridge for about 3 hours before he decided to eat some Jello. Now, I didn't know which Jello he was going to go for. Strawberry, lime, pineapple, I didn't know. So I injected all of it. I spit a lot. Spit quite a bit that night. So for 3 hours I watched the fridge. And then finally entered our kitchen. Got a little shot of saliva in his mouth. Now, I will say I do regret doing that, but I just don't think his response to what I did was just quite appropriate. So, he eats the Jello, he calls me over and says, What are you doing, little shit? He doesn't like me very much. I'm like, I don't know. What are you doing eating our Jello? You're a babysitter, remember? And he said, Well, your mom doesn't love you. And I said, My mom happens to be a nice woman and she does love me. And by the way, there's some spit in your Jello. Now, he understood the first part of that statement, but the last part he was like, What do you mean? And I said, in great detail, how I explained what I did. First, I got a syringe out of the drawer. I spit about 3 to 4 times for each Jello shot. I made sure the syringe was so small that you couldn't really notice a little prick and the little aluminum foil cover. And then I said, You ate the whole Jello in 20.5 seconds. You ate my spit. And he said, Oh shit. And I decided to get another Jello cup and another one and another one. They each had little holes in them. And then whenever I went like that, you could just tell a little bit of liquid just came out onto the floor. Suffice to say, he wasn't very happy with me. And he says, I'm gonna hit you now, you little shit. And I said, Go ahead and do it. Then I'll tell my mom. Now, I don't take insults very lightly. So when he called me a little dick shit if I decided to tell my mom, I took it a little bit personally. Now, should I have filled his Jello with spit? No, I shouldn't have. I realize that now. But when he called me a little dick a little dick shit, let's just say I was a little bit fuming for a 6-year-old. I was, say, downright cartoonishly red. So I said, Nuh-uh, you know it drags behind me like a tail. And he just started laughing, just said, Yeah, I'm leaving, I'm out of here. This is not worth the $2.50 I get an hour. So, my mom comes home early, just wondering what I did. I didn't tell her. I was sure the babysitter would tell her, but I guess he never did. Anyways, suffice to say, I took that insult a little bit personally. So I found our vacuum cleaner. Now, if you don't know, vacuum cleaners, the very expensive ones, I will say, I was balling back then. It has a little nozzle you could take off to kind of get in the corners underneath stuff. And it just kind of sucks things up. Now, in my little head, I took a little dick, quite personally. Now, I know at that age, 6 years old, it was little. I would have to say it was probably tinier than average. It was almost downright non-existent. So, I took it personally. In my little 6-year-old brain, I thought, scientifically, how could I make it bigger? Prove my babysitter wrong. Yeah, I applied the Austin Powers type of logic and decided to get a vacuum cleaner and decided suction was the best tool. So I found my little vacuum cleaner, or like my mom's. I went into my closet, turned on the lights, positioned the vacuum cleaner, plugged it in, turned off the lights, put the little nozzle on my wee wee, and then turned it on. I will have to say, it wasn't very enjoyable. And I would have to say, it hurt. It was painful. Would I do it again? No. I learned my lesson. Don't do that. And really, I learned that day, really to not just let words kind of affect me like that. You know, not to take every insult at face value, you know? Hurt people hurt people. And little dick people respond to every insult they get. Man, suffice to say, after surgery, it still worked. It's just now stuck at 6-year-old size. So it really had the backwards type of effect that I really wanted. It didn't really work out. And that's it. That's my story. If you liked it, you can leave a like. Would I say subscribe? No. I wouldn't like to be known as the guy who got a whole bunch of subscribers because he somehow thought a vacuum would make his dick bigger. I would not like that. So, in a weird way, I hope this video doesn't get a lot of views. I just decided to test out my new camera I got. Yeah, anyways, that's it. Bye.